All right. Shalom, Israel. This is the ISUPK, start of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. This is Monday night history class. First of all, I want to give a big ups to everybody in ISUPK, Nashville, Chattanooga, Alabama, Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? All the schools, North and South Carolina the ones that came through. I want to give a big ups to all of y'all, brothers and sisters. Y'all did an amazing job making sure that we was able to feed and clothe people. Y'all helped with Shamar like crazy. You know what I'm saying? The sisters, y'all did an excellent job showing sisterhood and making the sisters feel welcome in Nashville. Y'all brothers, y'all young men, troopers, 50s, 500s, all of y'all brothers did an excellent job in all of y'all departments, man. Y'all niggas did well. All right. So before I start, do we have any questions? All right, so we're gonna go straight into it, right? So the topic of the class is real Israelite history. What do I mean when I say real Israelite history? What I mean when I say that is I'm talking about our real history that we don't have the record of. There's certain things about us as people, blacks and Hispanics, that we just do, but we don't have a real reason for why we do it. It's in our blood to do it. It's things that we did that's just natural to us. So, like, I got a precept I want to pull real quick. Give me Romans 2:14. You read it when you get it.
Is that 2 and 14?
Yeah, Romans 2:14.
This is chapter 2, verse 14. All argument, all quality in heaven.
Good.
For when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law.
So those Gentiles right there is not talking about heathens. It's not talking about Asians. It's not talking about Greeks. It's not talking about Chinese people. It's not talking about Arabs. It's not talking about East Indians. It's talking about Israelites that's living amongst these heathens, right? It said when they do what?
Do by nature the things contained in the law.
When they naturally do the things that's contained in the law, keep going.
These, having not the law, are a law unto themselves.
That's the law being really on the inward parts. Not so much as written, but it's in our culture so deeply rooted that we naturally do things that's in the law. Do things that the Lord will have us do. Do things that will be pleasing to him versus serving heathen nations and choosing heathen gods and heathen cultures. You know what I'm saying? We naturally do the things that's preferred for us to do. That's written in the scriptures. We just read it. Read it again.
Oh, God. This is the book of Romans, chapter 2, verse 14. When the Gentiles,
Just
which have, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law, these, having not the law, are a law unto themselves.
We are a law unto ourselves, like it said right there, right? So our history is deep rooted, right? It's deeper than just saying we in the truth, saying that we serve God, saying that we love the Most High and going to obey the Most High. It's like it says, go find something to put on your head so you don't got to hold your hand like that. But versus saying that those things, our history is rooted in action. Our history is rooted in proof, acknowledgement of the truth, acknowledgement of the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments, and following them, right? But there was times in history where we didn't do that. There's times in our history where we were so infatuated with the things of the world that it caused us to lose favor with the Most High. So much so that he had to raise up mighty men, kind of like we are living today. A lot of people in the world talk bad about Commander Junior Hunter. They got a problem with Commander Junior Hunter because the belief really is that he's the leader of black people. He's the true leader of Hispanic people. The Lord chose him to do it. Why do I feel like that? Because the proof is in the pudding. These is facts. Who's feeding people? Where are the Muslims feeding these people out here in South Nashville? Out east. Where are the Arabs doing that? Where the Christians do it? They're gonna do it, but you don't get molested. They're gonna take advantage of you. They're gonna have sex with your wife. Where's all the people that claim they care about black people? They got all these 501c. Let me tell you a story, right? I'm just a sidebar, but it ain't. Back when I was younger in the truth, I made it my business to use our 501c3 to partner with anybody who I could to get us benefits that we could use to feed and clothe people, to help people. Do you know I got turned away left and right because all the funding that everybody had was going to other nonprofit 501c3s? But you know what those nonprofit 501c3s do in those areas? Nothing. Literally nothing in Clarksville. They don't do nothing in Clarksville. We did boots on the ground. I don't think it was in the truth yet, but we did boots on the ground in Clarksville, in the projects, almost every other Saturday, feeding and clothing people who ain't never seen nobody give them no love. They ain't got nobody who care about them, but we did it. But why did we do it? Was it for glory? Was it for our own gain? No. We did it because the Lord would have us do it. Because the Lord told us to a long time ago when he put Nehemiah in position to teach brothers and sisters how to turn back to him. That's why I follow Command Junior Hana, because it makes perfect sense. I don't have to wonder, well, he's saying we're paying all these tithes is for your brothers and sisters, but is it really though? Are they really getting this money? Yes. That's how we feed and clothe people. That's how our prison program works. That's how everything works. The expungement program, that stuff is free because we pay for it to be able to be free for our people. We suffer a little bit so that they can all gain. It's worth it. We only got to suffer a little bit for a little time while they suffering hard every single day. We bringing them some type of relief. It's worth it, man. You can't tell me I'm wrong for following Commander Junior Hana when you follow a faggot who out here sharing dick pics to each other, to his men. You talking about a person who wrongfully convicted two 17-year-old boys in New York. I believe they were 17 black boys. And he's the police. Now he's the leader of a whole Israelite group. He got all the love in the world for people in Africa, ain't got nothing for his brothers and sisters over here. They said Trayvon Martin's. They said what happened to Trayvon Martin was his own fault. But you're supposed to be telling, but I'm supposed to follow him because he got X amount of members in his group. What they doing for anybody? They said it's a sin to feed people. Do y'all know that? They said it's a sin to feed the poor. If that ain't evil, what is evil? So can't nobody tell me nothing about Command Junior Hana. I ain't hearing none of that, man. Cause what do you do? Salakia. But we're gonna get to Nehemiah. Let's go to Nehemiah chapter 8. Salakia, you got any questions, sis? Okay. Go ahead. We'll start at 8 and 1. And the reason why we're reading about Nehemiah, like I said, Command Junior Hana is the modern day version of Nehemiah. Because there was a time where Israel was not following the law. They chose to, they were so involved with the what are they called? The Babylonians culture, but they forgot what it meant to serve the Lord. Go ahead, sis. What's your question, sis? Ezekiel 36. Let's get there. Yo, man, go ahead and pull Ezekiel 36. You can go back to Nehemiah shortly.
Ezekiel 36. What verse?
19.
Is there a specific thing you want to know about it, or you just want to break down? Okay. Start at verse 17 when you start reading it.
Come. Sorry.
17.
Come. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 36, verse 17.
16.
Verse 16. Salakia. All human equality in heaven. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, verse 17, Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, they defiled it by their own way and by their abuse.
Right. So this is history right here in itself. What he's talking about right here in Ezekiel, what Ezekiel is talking about specifically is about what we're about to read about in the book of Nehemiah. He's literally talking about what I was about to talk about. because Ezekiel was in the same school as Nehemiah. It was Nehemiah, Ezra, Ezekiel, uh, Jeremiah, Isaiah, and Obadiah, all in the same school. I think Daniel, all in the same school, right? But Nehemiah was the head of the school, right? So what he's talking about right here is he's talking about what I was talking about earlier. The heathen had such a hold on our people, on our culture didn't matter to us no more. It was about serving their heathen, about their gods, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, keep reading.
Come on. Their way was before me as the uncleanliness, as the uncleanness of a removed woman.
Right. So it's talking about filthy blood. What we was doing was it was looked at as like filthy blood. That's what women are when they when y'all on y'all flower. That's why I can't come around the congregation because that blood is to clean your body out. The blood is filthy. Keep going.
Verse 18. Wherefore I poured my fury upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land and for their idols, wherewith they had polluted it.
Right. So when we go back to Nehemiah, you'll read about the victuals, right? About the victuals and you'll read about the victuals and something else that the Arabs the heathen was bringing into the cities. So during the time of Nehemiah, it's during the Babylonian captivity. The Babylonians seized Jerusalem, but we still had a physical home. What's up? You're gonna say something? What's that? Okay. So you got to give me more information. Salakia. Which verse was it that you needed specifically?
Ezekiel 36, 19 and 22.
19 to 22?
19 through 22.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Do I want your information first? Or not? Are you following along what I'm breaking down so far? Okay, let's just stay there and then we'll get to your question. All right. What was I saying? Read that verse again. The idols, Salakia. The idols. What it's talking about right there with the idols. If we go back to Nehemiah, there was during the time of the Babylonian captivity. We were in our own land, but the Babylonians had sieged that we was under their authority. Right? They destroyed the temple. They burned it down. And we started falling into their culture. We weren't able to practice our culture no more. We had to get in where we could. You know what I'm saying? And so part of that, we started sacrificing. That's why I talk about the blood that was shed upon the land. It was unlawful blood. We weren't supposed to be making those type of sacrifices that we was doing, but we was doing it because we were surrounded by the heathen, right? And then the idols, like I said, it's the victuals and stuff that the heathen was bringing into Jerusalem. We started buying them and keeping them. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Oh God, verse 19. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through their country.
Right. So this is when we started getting scattered, like it said right there. So you had the split after Solomon's son Rehoboam. After him, the nation split to a northern kingdom and a southern kingdom. Right. We're still the same family, but we definitely was divided because Solomon was on some real evil, wicked stuff, and his son was on the same because he followed after his father. So an Ephraimite king was raised up to be the leader of Israel, the other 10 tribes, and they left and went to the northern kingdom, became the northern kingdom, right? Then they went to Assyria after that because eventually they started committing sin as well. So the Lord took them into captivity. From them going to Assyria, they were dispersed. And then for us being conquered by the Babylonians, we was dispersed. Keep going.
According to their way and according to their doings, I judged them. Verse 20. And when they entered unto the heathen, whither they went, they profaned my holy name.
So whenever we went to the heathen, so like we read earlier about them having their own idols, by them having those idols, we profaned the name of the Most High. Meaning we took his name and we started prescribing it on random stuff. It lost its meaning to us. You know what I'm saying? We didn't care. Keep going. And it's more than just that, but I'm gonna explain in a second. Keep going.
When they said to them, these are the people of the Lord.
Right. Now that's why it's talking about a name, because we are the people of the Lord. He put his name in Israel, on Israel. We represent him. So when it said that we read that first, it said we profaned what?
They profaned my holy name.
Because we supposed to be separate. The word holy means to be separate. So when he put his name on us, it was supposed to stamp us like these are the realest people on earth. These are the ones that's supposed to be a light to the whole earth. They're the standard. They're the rabbit. Follow them. But instead of doing that, we chose to follow the heathen. We chose to follow the heathen's gods. We profaned his name, meaning the reputation that he established for us to have in the earth, it went away. We didn't care about it. And you know that's true because before Nehemiah, before we get into the Babylonian captivity, when we was walking out of Egypt into Israel, on the way to Israel, other nations was in fear of even running across us. We didn't even have to fight a lot of times. We did go to war a lot, but we didn't have to fight nearly as many battles as we could have fought. A lot of nations was afraid to do wrong to us because they heard about the God of Israel, because we was under his name. That's what that's meaning right there. Keep going.
Oh, God. These are the people of the Lord and are gone forth out of his land.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 21. But I had pity for mine holy name,
Keep going.
which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathen, whither they went.
Right. So instead of saying, well, them niggas fucked up, fuck them. Excuse my language. The Lord said, I had pity on my name, meaning he had pity on the reputation that was left of Israel, because the earth still knew that we were God's chosen people, but they knew that if they keep us in sin, then they could rule over us. And if the Lord didn't raise nobody up to fix us, we was gonna stay ruled over, stay in sin. That's why Nehemiah's history is so important. That's why Ezekiel, Ezra, all the prophets' history is so important. Because without the work that they did, the Lord put them in position, we would still be back out in the world. We'd be Christian. We'd be thinking we got the truth, or we'd be exploiting each other, not knowing what we're doing is wrong because we didn't care because we learned the way of the heathen. We sullied his name, the reputation he gave us. So it said he had pity on that reputation. Keep going. Verse 22.
Come, verse 22. Therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord God, I do not this for your sakes,
Mm-hmm.
house of Israel, but for mine holy name's sake.
That's why we represent him. Whether we righteous or we wicked, the heathen gonna look at us. They're gonna look at the Lord and judge him based off how we do, however we act. That's why whenever he was talking about bringing us out into the wilderness and killing us and starting over with Moses, the first thing Moses said was, what would the heathen think? What would the Egyptians think? What would the rest of the heathen think? After you done brought your people out just to kill them in the desert, you could have let them die in Egypt. What would that make the world think of you? You know what I'm saying? The Lord's reputation is second, is really the most important thing, man. Because what are we representing, man? What are we doing here, right? If you're in the truth, if you claim that you're in the truth, your responsibilities in the truth supposed to be mean more to you than anything else on earth. Because you're but that's predicated on your reason for being in the truth. What is your reason? Why are you here? Are you here just because it's something to do? It's cool. It gets you out of a situation. Or are you here because you really want to serve the Most High? Because if you're here because you really want to serve the Most High, well, now that means his name is on you. You represent him. Are we gonna go out in the streets and tell little black boys and girls that they monsters? And then same time tell them they God's chosen people? That makes God confusion, and God ain't the author of confusion. If they God's chosen people, where's the compassion for those people at? We owe responsibility to them as well as to the Most High to serve him, to show them that compassion. Because ain't nobody else gonna do it. The fake Israelites gonna do it. The ones that claim they Israelites and they claim that the Lord is with them because they got a bunch of numbers. They ain't gonna do it. They'll feed Africans though. They'll feed people in Indonesia, in Asia. They won't do nothing for the average nigga in the hood. They won't do nothing for the brother or sister that's strung out on dope on the corner. How is that bringing glory to the Most High's name? It don't. But you know what it does? When we do it, when we suffer for them, the Lord said he didn't have pity on his name. Read it again.
Come. Verse 22. Therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord God, I do not this for your sakes, house of Israel.
He don't do it for our sake. Who does he do it for?
But for mine holy name's sake.
Why? Because when they see us, what are they supposed to see? That's a question. When they see us, what are they supposed to see?
So they're supposed to see the Most High.
The spirit. But if they see us and we own some wicked stuff and we downtrodden and we ain't serving him, we purple. If they see us and we purple, what do they see about the Most High then?
So good. I guess everything that they see in is purple.
Exactly. That's the point. If you're gonna represent the Lord, you need to represent him in spirit and truth. Man, pull that precept. One of y'all got that? Salak, give me. Go to John 4 and 24.
Come on.
Because that's what this is. The Lord's name being taken for granted is what leads to the Lord being questioned. Well, if God really exists, if we really God's chosen people, why he let us stay in slavery? What you do to get up in slavery, nigga? If your father really loved you, if your father's really your father, why he slapped you upside your head when he found out that you was out breaking in people's cars and stealing radios? What you do to get slapped upside the head? It's the same thing. We want to blame the Lord for when we do wrong instead of looking at ourselves. The Bible is a mirror. That's all it is. It's a mirror. If you see things in it and you read things about it, out that history, and you see that it don't apply to you or it apply to you and make you feel real bad about how you've been carrying on in your life, then you need to fix yourself. Go ahead, Salakia.
Come. This is the book of John, chapter 4, verse 24. Al-Akim al-Qati in heaven. Verse 24. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
In spirit and in truth. So it's not just a feeling like, oh, he's so near to me because I pray and I sing Negro spirituals and hymns and we all got a million people. He's with us. No, it ain't like that. Gideon had well over 300 men, and the Lord dwindled that army down because numbers don't matter. We supposed to serve the Lord in truth. And what's the truth? Everything that's written in that book. Everything that's commanded of us to do, how we're commanded to treat one another, that's the truth. Salakia, you had a question though about what's the situation?
My sister asked me like, well, she came to me like a week ago, and she was like, "I'm gonna be ordained to be a minister. Can you come and see me Sunday?" And I was like, "No." I said, I said, "No."
Salakia, if I could, ain't that? And look, you see how the Lord work right there. Go ahead,
And I was like, I said, "No." I said, "I want to step a foot in that church." I said, "I feel like I'm gonna burn if I step in that church."
Mm-hmm.
So she messaged me today and she was like, "Well, I see you was out there with your Israelite people all weekend with them, but you couldn't come." She was like, "But you couldn't come and see me get ordained to be a minister yesterday."
Hey, pull 1 Thessalonians 5 and 22. I'm listening to you, sis.
Yeah, she was like, "You my only family." She was like, "You act like tell people your family." She was like, "Send me this text like this. Mama told her don't talk to her no more. She done with me and don't text her or call her nothing."
Mm. Salakia says, what'd you say? What'd you say? Pull that Thessalonians 5, 1 Thessalonians 5 and 22, and then pull Matthew 10 and 34. I can't hear you though, Salakia. Go ahead.
She just got
All right, so, and you wanting to know what specifically about that. First of all, coming to the truth, what do you think about what she said? I got a bunch of questions I can ask you about that, really. What do you think about what she said?
I thought that it was like I asked her to come to the school to check out the school a long time ago. You couldn't even respect what I had going on coming and visit us, but you want me to come to a church because you get ordained to be a minister when I already told you.
Stop right there. Do you know what it means to be unequally yoked?
No, I'm saying that.
It's way more than that. Because me and you can have difference of beliefs, but we still in the truth and we believe the same thing. We're not always on the same page, but we're not unequally yoked because we still both here in the truth, right?
Mhm.
To be unequally yoked is imagine, you know what a yoke is? You know how back before they had actual plows, they'll put the thing on the bulls on their neck like this,
Mhm.
and with rope, and they'll pull, and they'll
Yeah.
plow the ground. But it was so the ground is the ground, you know what I'm saying? It's the earth, so they need two or more to pull in the same direction. But if one starts pulling this way, it's gonna mess up the trail, right? So that's unequally yoked. One is pulling another harder than the other one is able to pull it. That's you and your sister. You told your sister about the truth and wanted her to come here and check it out. She never came. No sweat. You would be unequally yoked with her if you went to go do that thing with her because you invited her here. That ain't gonna cost her nothing. It was just so she could see what your life was doing, what you were doing with your life. And instead of coming and do that and be a sister to you, she expects you to be a sister to her while she doesn't be a sister to you. That's unequally yoked. You can't let her pull you from the truth. How can I say this? You can't let her pull you from the truth while you're trying to pull her to the truth because it's not going to work. She's not going to let it work. She's going to resist that. And you don't give in to go that way with her just because you want to save your relationship with your sister. If you can't have your family, Salakia, man, I'm about to have y'all sisters pulling precepts in a second. What you holding?
First Thessalonians 5:22.
You got Matthew 10 and 34 written down? All right, then I want you to write down, it's in Luke. Give me, no, it's in Matthew. Matthew 12 and 50. 49. Matthew 12 and 49. Write that one down. All right, go ahead and read what you got.
This is First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 22. All Akim and Akwati have.
Go ahead.
Go on. Abstain from all appearance of evil.
Abstain from all appearance of evil. What does that mean?
Still with me?
Stay away from anything that looks evil. The church is the house of Satan. The Lord ain't in there. The scripture said that he don't live in no temple built with man's hands. And we know he ain't amongst them people because what are they doing to serve him? What are they doing to bring glory to him? Nothing. Right? Keep going. Oh no, was that it on that?
Go,
Go to the other next one.
go.
First Thessalonians, I think 5 and 22. I said.
That was
Oh, my bad. Matthew 10 and 34.
so I can get done.
Yeah, go ahead. Quickly.
Okay, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 24.
34.
34. So think not that I am come to send peace on earth.
Christ ain't coming to send peace. When you start following Christ, you're not coming into the truth looking for peace with everybody in the earth. You coming into the truth expecting to lose people. You expecting conflict. Why? Because you believe something that everybody else don't believe. You know what the word, you know they call us a cult, right? Do you know why they call us a cult though? Do you know what the word cult means?
No, what I call mean culture.
But do you know what the word cult actually means in their world? What it means? It means the belief in the worship and follow of a strange God. The God of Israel is a strange God to the world that we live in. We don't eat pork, even though people been eating pork for 50 years and only a handful of us really die. I won't say that. A handful of us don't die from the gout. They don't end up with gout, diabetes, heart disease, liver disease, weird cancer that they got from nowhere. There's a handful of us that don't end up with them things because the Lord just winks at their ignorance. The Lord is with them and for a reason. It ain't my business to know the reason, but the Lord has mercy on them brothers and sisters. But we don't eat those things, the unclean foods. We don't celebrate birthdays. We don't celebrate American holidays or no nation, wherever country we scattered into. We don't celebrate their holidays. We don't deal in their culture, right? So we worship a strange God to them people. That's why they call us a cult. Read that verse.
Oh, come. This is Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth.
Mm-hmm.
I came not to send peace, but a sword.
He said he came to bring a sword on earth, right? Not peace. A sword is made for fighting. You meant to be armed to be able to defend this truth and your spirit away from everybody else that will harm it. The people that say they love you, but don't show you that they love you. We show you that we love you every day because there's not a moment, Raw in this life. So long as I know you, that you call and say, I need I'm not gonna do what I can to help you get what you need. They'll give you excuse. They'll give you reasons for why they can't be a sister to you, why they can't be a brother to you. But they say you treat us more like family than them. Where are they at for your kids? Where are they at for you? When things really get hard, not when things is fun, it's cool, and you know everything going good. You just want some company. You know, when things really get rough and hard, who can you go to about them from them and get counsel? That's gonna actually help you fix your situation. Not just I'm gonna pray for you. That's what she's gonna do when she become a minister. You gotta pray about it, sis. I'm gonna pray for you, sis. But what solutions is she really offering you though? None. Keep reading.
So that was
Keep going. Next verse.
For I am come to set a man at variance against his father.
It said men are variance against our fathers. Literally that. Sons against their fathers. Keep going.
Come. And the daughter against her mother.
And the daughter against her mother. Keep going.
And the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 36. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
No, your foes are supposed to be the people of your own household. The people that know you, the old you from the world, they're gonna be at odds with the new person that you are because they love the old person. The old person was fun. The old person used to get high. The old person used to go out and shake life. You know what I'm saying? Get to the bag with them, whatever the old person used to do with them. But now this new person got morality. This new person don't just do whatever this new person want to do. This new person has a set of ethics and rules that they follow that dictate what they're gonna do in life. They're not gonna like that. No one's gonna like you to see you be the better version of you. They like to fund you. They like the you that they can relate to. You gotta let that person die. And let that relationship with them die if it's necessary. This is how you know if people really love you. If you love me like you claim you do, then you're gonna be here for me no matter what I decide I'm gonna do with my life. What are you doing wrong? You're not selling drugs. You're not murdering people. You're not out here being a hoe. You're not stealing. What are you doing wrong? I can tell you a billion things that you're doing right. So what's wrong with what you're doing? Why she couldn't come and see the school at least one time? Because she don't love you for real. I got another precept. Salaki, y'all done messed up. Y'all done opened the can of worms. I'm finna precept y'all to death. Nah, Salaki. But I ain't gonna get to that one, that other precept. We ain't gonna do that, man. But nah, I ain't gonna do it. But it's read the next verse. Read the next verse I called for.
Come.
Your foes, Salaki. Read the next verse I called for. Your foes are gonna be the people of your house, though. If they love you, then they will be with you when you need them to be with you, not when it's convenient for them to be with you. You get what I'm saying? There's a precept. It says, a friend is made for adversity. That's Where's your family at during your adversity? Whenever your heart is breaking and you hurting emotionally and spiritually hurting, where are they at outside of I'll pray for you? Where is their shoulder to cry on? Are they gonna be there 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when you going through something with your husband or with your kids and you need help? Or are they gonna I can't do it right now, sis. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I owe a responsibility to you. If you call anybody and I hear about it, I'm coming to come help solve the problem because that's the responsibility I owe to you. Not because of my rank and my position, because you're my sister. Because I love you. The scriptures say love in action, not in it said love in deed, not in word. Paraphrasing. If all they have to offer you is word, lip service, they can't show up and show that they love you. It ain't real love. Go ahead, read it.
God. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 29. And he stretched forth his hand towards his disciples and said, Behold.
Slakia. Read verse 48.
Come.
47.
Come.
Now, for context, this verse is talking about when Christ's mother came and was talking about she need him to turn the water into wine. Right? Go ahead.
Come. Verse 47. Then one said unto him, Behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee.
That's right. So this is just like your sister desiring for you to come and see her get raised up to do this. What is she doing?
She become a minister.
To become a minister. She is desiring for you to come watch her become a minister. Right? Keep going.
Con. Verse 48. But he answered and said unto him that told him.
Right? So now this is what Christ's response was to your mother needs you. Your sister saying that she needs you to be there. Saying that you treat us more like family than your own family. Keep reading.
So, Con. Who is my mother?
Who is my mother? Keep going.
And who are my brethren?
Christ literally stretched his hand forward. He said, who is my mother and who is my brethren? Keep going.
Con. Verse 49. And he stretched forth his hand towards his disciples and said, Behold, my mother and my brethren.
Y'all are my family. I don't need the people that I got blood relation to. I don't need them. I love them. Great to have them. If they call me and I can help, I will. I'm there for them if I can be. But y'all are my family. Am I wrong for that? Keep reading.
Con. Verse 50. For whosoever do the will of my Father, which is in heaven, the same as is my brother and my sister and mother.
Y'all are my family. I don't need nobody else. You don't need nobody else. You need the people that's gonna show you that they're gonna show out when it's time for them to do it. Give me that verse. A friend is made for adversity. That's like it. Proverbs 18 and 24. Wait, hold on. No. Proverbs 17 and 17. Yeah, Proverbs 17 and 17. Go ahead. You don't need nobody else, man. It sounds real cultish when you say it out loud like that without context. When you don't have the context of our culture, of our heritage, of our real history, it sounds like we really tell you that you need to seclude yourself from everybody so we can get our hands on your brain. But that's really what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to wash your brain so that you don't feel obligated to a person that don't care about being obligated to you. You don't owe nobody nothing that don't owe you nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So let her be in the world. Let her go be her man. My grandfather doing the same thing. My grandfather been for when last time we was there? October? No. When last time we was there? Last June. So for a year, my grandfather been telling me, "Hey, I'm about to get basically ordained. Or I'm about to get ordained." His wife got ordained. Now he's getting ordained, and he's been trying to invite me and my rib to come down there and see it and all that. And I keep telling him I'm not coming, granddad. Not. See, you love that man, Johanna, more than you love. Yeah, yeah, granddad, I do. Because while you're out here being a drunk, while you're out here telling me that the things that you're telling me that you got going on, what are you doing with all the stuff that the Lord has blessed you with? The Lord gave you great health after years of doing dope. You in a very hot situation. What are you doing for anybody? You got all the money in the world, but you ain't got nothing to help nobody. Not me, other your friends, your military buddies, the niggas that served under you in your platoon. They got families that don't have a father or a leader no more. Where are you at for them? You got all this money. We went to my cousin Roosevelt. Hey, you remember Roosevelt's house? He had marble floors. You remember that? Literal marble floors. The tiles on the floor were made of marble. He had a theater upstairs, man. And he had more rank than my grandfather. What is he doing for anybody who served under him? The people, them brothers and sisters, that those families that lost family serving under him, what is he doing for them? Nothing. They secluded in their little senior citizens gated community, and they only deal with each other. Go ahead.
And what you said is true because she said you care for them sisters in that school more than you care for us. And then I'm thinking, like, every time I call one of these sisters, they always come through for me.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna pray for you.
She always did.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing her for 2.5 years. She never told me no to anything I done asked her. Even the other sisters.
Mm-hmm.
When my children was going through their battle in the hospital up there.
Good. And what was she?
She came one time, but my sisters came through. They came before she did, and you supposed to be my blood.
And that's why I was talking about unequally yoked. That's why I was talking about unequally yoked. So you supposed to be there and show her all this crazy amount of favorite love because she's some type of blood to you versus these sisters who are actually there. No, you can't be unequally yoked with her. Read it.
Come, come. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 17. A friend loveth at all times.
At all times. When things is great, your friends is right there. When things is bad, that's when your friends are really there. If I could, real quick, we owe it to each other as well. In the truth, we owe it to each other the opportunity to prove our friendship to one another. When you're going through hard times, don't ever think it's okay to just I'm gonna deal with it by myself. You're not allowing your brothers to be brothers to you. You're not allowing your sisters to be sisters to you. Call them, cry to them, yell, vent to them. We owe the responsibility to one another to be here for each other emotionally. We cutting off the world who don't care about us for people who say that we care about each other. You owe it to your brothers and sisters to allow them the chance to show you that they really care. You get what I'm saying?
Come,
Finish that verse real quick,
come,
Salaki.
come. And a brother is born for adversity.
And brother is born for adversity. So when things get hard, like I said, the good times and the bad times, a brother and a sister is born for those things. Your friends are supposed to be your friends, and because of the things that they do, not because of the words they say or because of a little bit of blood that y'all share. You can have the thickest blood in the world. You can be twins, but that don't mean that's more your family than the person who actually shows you that they're your family. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And I was gonna say, kept in the shot. I called him because like you said, I broke down. I broke down. I was crying because what happened. But he was like, you know what? He said, give all the anger you getting to the Most High. He said, I know you like to clean. He said, go up to the school and build some bricks.
Done. Exactly.
And then when I came up here and I started building bricks, it calmed me all the way down.
Exactly. And that's you choosing suffering for the Lord's sake. Captain Zark was talking about it. I brought it out in class before, but Captain Zark was talking about it earlier on the live today. He was talking about there's two types of shame. There's a good shame and a bad shame. The bad shame would be what she's giving you, trying to make you feel. The good shame is that I'm cleaning up the school because I'm in my emotions. That's a good shame. Because from the outside looking in, well, she just instead of helping her, they just told her to go clean the school. No, they gave you what you needed to be able to get through what you're dealing with. It didn't have to be that. It could have been literally any other thing, but that was the thing that really was going to help you in the moment. You know what I'm saying? But to them, they can't see that.
He know that's what I like to do.
Exactly.
So I enjoyed coming up here doing that, just giving that peace and giving my own atmosphere and doing God's work at the same time. So
And
that
that's
was
glorious.
the perfect thing that he had me do.
God.
So I didn't look at it like he made me come to school. I wanted to do that.
Mhm.
And it gave me a peace of mind at the same time.
But to her, that'll be a shame. To her, it's a bad shame. But for you, it's a good shame. She gonna have a thought about it, a feeling about it. She gonna have something to say about it. You, like you said, she saw about you. She saw you all week with your sisters here, but couldn't do nothing with her. That's for her. That's a bad shame. For you, that's a good shame. It's from. How can I make this word so you can understand what I'm saying? She sees it as a bad thing, but you see it as a good thing. That's the difference between the good shame and the bad shame. Because that shame that what she sees as bad, it brings glory to you. Why? Because you got the oil poured on your head and you stood on what you said you was gonna stand on. Your oath meant something to you. All week, all y'all sisters, all y'all brothers, that y'all showed that y'all oath means something to y'all. That's a good shame. I was so tired from working, I didn't get to go out none of the event, no day of none of the other none of the nightlife because I was tired. But it was worth it. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad my brother and sister got to have fun. Y'all got to kick it. And I love that y'all got to kick it. That's why I worked so hard, so that y'all could be safe doing what y'all wanted to do. That's what my oath means to me. That's what me getting the oil poured on my head meant for me. I need to be the best soldier of Christ that I can be, possible. And it's a shame that comes with that. So you mean to tell me that you gonna go out here and you gonna hold Shamar, stand outside and walk back and forth up this parking lot, let niggas yell at you, talk bad to you, and you don't do nothing about it? There's a shame that comes with that. But it's a bad shame to them. It's a good shame for me. Why? Because it's helping me to grow into a better soldier so I can be a better servant for y'all, better protector of y'all, better brother to y'all. So if you got a sister that's not talking about being a better sister to you, then let her be over there by herself. Y'all sisters by blood only. It is what it is. Your family is who you got real relationship with. Who's doing the work of the Lord? Who's doing the suffering that you're doing in the truth with you? The sisters in here are. The brothers in here are. We could be doing a million other things. All of us could. But instead, we here on Monday night, scripture break, what's this, history class, and just talking. The black and white is all we doing is talking to each other. But we together. We got one viewer on, 3 viewers online. We all together. Where is she? If you wasn't here, you would be at home, right? Where would she be at? Would she be there? Would she be on the phone with you? No. But you know, if you called any one of us, you would be on the phone with one of us. If you came up to the school like you did, you'll be right here amongst all of us. You don't have to fight to find this brotherhood, to fight this sisterhood. It's right here. You don't got to prove no weird ritualistic crap. None of that. You just come here and show that you really about suffering the way we suffering and sacrificing the things that we all sacrificing in here. That's enough. You automatically my family. Why? Because you choosing the Most High. You making His name glorious instead of your own. I don't care what people, my family thinks about me. They all got opinions about me. Believe that, and I don't care that they do. The ones that do. Some of my family don't. Some of my family they indifferent. They don't care. But a lot of my family they got an opinion about me because I'm in the truth. They don't talk to me. I get flyers. We have a family reunion. This is true story. I have a family reunion coming up in August. And the only reason I know about it is my mama's sister sent me the flyer. My grandma didn't send it to me. My auntie didn't send it to me. And what I'm saying is that they have a whole group chat. My whole family, that side of my family, literally has a giant group chat. It's like 70 people in there, but I'm not in there. Why am I not in there? Because I'm in the truth. That's black and white, the flat out answer. It ain't because nothing I did. It ain't because nothing I said to nobody. Literally, it's because I'm in the truth. Because I don't believe what they believe. Because what they believe feels good. My grandma's an alcoholic. She's been an alcoholic. She didn't put my life, my little sister's life in danger countless times on some alcoholic stuff when I was a child, while we was children. She's never gonna stop being an alcoholic, being in the church. You know why? The pastor prays for her every Sunday. He holds her hands and prays with her in tongues and collects her tithe money. He does nothing to help her. My uncle is still selling drugs in the streets. He's a Christian. No one is doing anything to stop him from doing it. Nothing that he's ever learned. He believes in all this book of Enoch and all that. It's not stopping him from selling drugs and poisoning his people, from killing his people. His relationships with his children is all messed up, and he's not learning how to fix them. But because I believe in this thing, I don't get invites to the family reunion. I don't get invites to the function. I don't get invites to nothing. But you know what I do get? I get to surround myself with brothers and sisters that suffer in the same way I'm suffering. I don't need them. They could literally drop off the earth tomorrow. I can't say that I would feel it. Not the way I would hurt if I lost one of y'all. I wouldn't. Because they're not suffering how I'm suffering. They out there living their best life, having fun, carrying on, partying, dancing. Like they said in the scriptures, the days of Noah, they was drinking and making merry and being married. That's what they doing out here today. That's what your family is doing out here today. And you can't feel for them what you feel for the people that's out here suffering with you in your suffering. You understand what I'm saying? No strings attached. It's just flat out love. You can't get around that. You can't beat that with, well, we got blood ties. Damn that blood, man. What does that really mean? Technically, we all blood related. You know what I'm saying? So what does that really matter? It's about the actions that you show. Man, give me that. Where's that? I got you holding a precept. Pull this. Go to 1 John 2:15. Wait, hold on. Is that it? That might be it. Let me see. Hold on. No, it's a lock here. I can't find it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But that's the black and white of it, though. It's like I didn't mean to ramble on. You got anything else, sis? To answer your question,
Concept.
Most High in Christ. If you ain't got anything from that, understand that you suffering ain't for nothing. You suffering people that's suffering with you. We all suffered in that heat yesterday. Slocky, go ahead.
Saying this just chat action.
Let's say ain't nobody got no question. We good. They say God knows your heart. That's why people do what they do in the Christian church. There's a precept on that. Who can know the heart? The heart is wicked beyond belief. You know what I'm saying? There's a precept for that as well. But that's true. They believe that because they think that God knows my heart. That means that I'm gonna get a pass. No, God knows your heart because he knows you're an evil motherfucker. Excuse my language. That's what he knows, that you wicked, that you don't care about nobody but yourself. You're selfish, you stingy, you only want glory for you and none for nobody else. That's all you care about. That's what God knows my heart means. That I'm okay to do what I want to do when I want to do it, and it don't matter what nobody else got going on. Because God knows that's what I want to do. That's what you're admitting. I'm a wicked, evil sinner, and God knows it. That's what you're saying when you say God knows my heart. When I say God knows my heart, God knows that if I ever do anything wrong in sincerity and truth, I'm repenting and I'm trying to fix everything that all of us have done wrong. I'm trying to work triple, quadruple hard so I can make enough right to right all of our wrongs. Go ahead.
And I wanted to say, like, when I was in the Christian church, and the pastor only had one church, and like I went to the same church ever since I was like 15. I think I told y'all before.
Mhm.
And as the church got bigger and bigger, went into 3 different buildings. The third building, I had came to the pastor and I was like, can I talk? I said, I need to talk to the pastor. They was like, you gotta make an appointment. You gotta make an appointment.
That's crazy.
This is about 15. And I gotta make an appointment. But when I called General Muhammad, an hour tops, I'm ready to talk.
Duh.
And they got thousands of schools, and you got this one church, and you can't talk to me. And this man see millions, thousands, and thousands of more than that one church you got.
Exactly.
He have time for me, and he never be like, "No, I can't talk to you. You got to make an appointment." Never.
Go to Romans 12:9. No. Go to 1 John 3:18. But you're absolutely right, sis. And that's the point that I was making. It's a difference between people who say they love you versus people who show you that they love you. If they really cared about you in that church, sis, since you was 15, how many years, if you don't mind me asking? How many years is that?
41.
So that's 35, 36 years that you've given tithes and all of your love and your attention, your heart. I'm sure you was in there cooking and cleaning. All of that hard work just to get told, no, back up. Who are you? You ain't got to, are you a VIP? How much money you gave to the church today? Maybe we can get you in tomorrow. Maybe we can get you in next week.
And then, so like I said, and then it's to the point where this pastor, I named his second daughter. I lived in the house with him for 5 months.
Just to be told that you got to set an appointment. That's crazy.
And I named his second daughter when he was like a Christian. And I had to make an appointment to talk to him.
Does your sister know this? And your sister expect you to come and be in that church with her? That's insane. You see what I'm saying? It's about themselves, it's about them, their glory, their greatness. It's about them. It ain't about helping you. It ain't about bringing glory to you. bring glory to the Most High. It's about bringing glory to them. Go ahead, read that.
Book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth.
How?
But in deed and in truth.
Indeed and in truth. That's how we're supposed to love each other. So what that pastor was doing, that's not deed or truth. That's not love at all. He was showing you the truth through his deeds, what he really felt. No, you got to get an appointment with me, sis. You can't just come walk into my office. You can't just come talk to me. That's insane, but you're supposed to follow this. But you're wrong if you don't. You get cut off if you don't. Pull Romans 10 and 3. I shouldn't have even named my classes. We should have just talked about this the whole class. I'm about done now. Shoot, it's lucky. No, you too wild, man. We're turning into scripture breakdown class. I'm with it though. But that's the point. You see, even something as small as this, pivoting the class. In church, you can't ask that type of question. In church, you won't get counsel like this, or you won't get conversation about this and precepts to help you understand what the Lord would have you think about this. You won't get this in the church. It's going to be about John 3:16 or tithes or praise and worship for like 3 hours and then go home. You don't get the chance to actually talk about this. Even that little thing is the difference between loving in action and deed versus just saying I love you in word. My actions show you that I love you. My actions show you that I'm a real brother to you. Not just you got to make an appointment. I'll deal with your question after I finish my topic on my class. That's that. You got that? Go ahead.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 10, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
For they, being ignorant of God's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness,
Keep going.
Have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of God.
But she's supposed to be getting ordained. Don't that mean that you're chosen by the Lord to lead the Lord's people? Obviously, that's not what's happening. Read it again.
For they, being ignorant of God's righteousness.
They don't understand God's righteousness. They don't know it. That's what it means to be ignorant, to not know. They don't know what God's righteousness looks like. They don't know what it is. They make excuse to not be righteous. They make excuse to sin. Even though the book that they say they believe in tells you not to sin. Even though Christ, to be a Christian, by definition, means that you're a follower of Christ. If you're a follower of Christ, that means you did what Christ did. Christ kept the law, but they make excuse to not keep the law. They say that Christ died, so I ain't got to keep the law. No, he died so that you can be forgiven for not keeping the law, so you can start keeping the law. Keep reading.
God. And going about to establish their own righteousness.
And they, like I said, they find excuse. They make excuse so they can establish their own righteousness. We don't got to be covered by the if you follow the law, the Old Testament law, then you got to keep all the law, or you guilty of breaking all the law. But I'm saved by grace, so I don't got to keep the law. They're establishing their own righteousness because the Bible don't say that. Christ ain't never said that. Paul never said that. No prophet ever said that. Man, Slakia, keep reading. I'm about to pull another precept, Slakia.
God. Have not submitted themselves unto righteousness, unto the righteousness of God.
Exactly, Salakia. Let me find this precept, Salakia. Give me Romans 2 and 13. I thought it was 2 and 5. Salakia. They go about to establish their own righteousness, what they believe makes them righteous, instead of the righteousness that the Lord would have us seek to have. Go ahead. Romans 2 and 13.
Come. This is the book of Romans, chapter 2, verse 13. For not the hearers of the law are just before God.
So just because you say you're a Christian and you've heard the law, but Christ died for you and now you got grace, you don't got to keep the law. That's not true. It says the hearers of the law aren't justified before God. Keep going.
Come. But the doers.
But who?
But who? But
the people that do the law. Keep going.
Doers of the law shall be justified.
We will be justified. Whenever the end comes for your life, if you've kept the law, then you will be justified. Does that mean that we only saved by the law and not by grace? No, we definitely need the grace because all of us were sinners before we found out the truth. Before we came into the truth and found out the law, all of us owe a debt to the Most High. We all owe our life to Him. But because of Christ's sacrifice, now we get to actually work to earn to earn what His sacrifice got us. Good.
So, like, if I could, big elephant in the room here. The law also says that sisters are not authorized to teach.
Right, they're right. But I wasn't even I wasn't even gonna touch on that, but you absolutely right. That's a good point. The law also said that sisters can't teach. So how is she being ordained to teach anybody anything? Now there are things that sisters can teach. Don't get that twisted. There are things that sisters can teach, and there are people that sisters can teach. They're supposed to be teachers of good things. Her being a minister, a pastor, anything, teaching the teaching men the truth, the truth is wrong. She's not meant to be able to to teach men. You know why? Because what's going to happen is she's going to get emotional about a topic. Somebody going to ask her about something, and she's not going to give the real answer. She's going to give what she feels instead of what the truth actually is. You know how you know I'm telling the truth? You asked her to come here. What did she do? But then you didn't show up when she wanted you to show up. What did she do? Did she come here? She acted up. She sent you all type of a long, drawn out message and cutting you off and this, that, and the third. You didn't cut her off when she didn't come here. That's why she wasn't meant to be no leader. That's why women are not meant to lead nothing, because the emotion get in the way. If you was on some logical, if she was meant to lead, when that situation occurred, when you told her no or you just didn't show up, no worries, sis. I still love you. She couldn't even be there with it though, because what she's learned from theology school ain't taught her how to be a leader. They taught her how to finesse people, how to mind control people, how to lie to people, but they didn't teach her how to be a leader because they weren't supposed to be able to teach her how to be a leader. You get what I'm saying? You women are supposed to be, especially the seasoned women like y'all are supposed to be teachers of good things. Read that in Titus. It's lucky. Give me a second. Titus 2 and 3.
Come.
Oh, you already had it. Most High in Christ. Go ahead.
This is the book.
Man,
Verse 3.
mm-hmm.
The aged woman, likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things.
Teachers of good things. This is the things that women are supposed to be teaching. Sisters are supposed to be in the truth. They're supposed to be, if you're going to be in the church, they're supposed to be in the church teaching these good things. But they're not teaching these things. You got some old timey sisters that tried to do this. That was really, they was close. But the problem was with the men, wasn't them, it was the men. The leadership was the problem. They weren't learning the things that they were supposed to learn. But as far as teaching the young girls how to not to be fast, you know what I'm saying, how to have some self-respect, not to just sleep with boys, you know what I'm saying? They taught them even not being just crazy drunk all the time, you know what I'm saying? I know some older women that refuse to drink, period. They thought it wasn't ladylike. They wouldn't cuss. They did a lot of things they called unladylike. You know what I'm saying? So there was a generation of black women that understood what this verse was saying, these verses were saying. But this newer generation of black women that want to be leaders of men, they don't care what this verse is saying. They want the title. They want their name. They don't want to bring glory to his name. He put women on this earth to do a certain thing. Men can't do everything. There are certain things that men cannot do that only women can do. And the main thing that y'all can do that we can't do is teach little girls how to be women. Teach little boys a degree of compassion. Well, not compassion. What's the word I'm looking for? To nurture a little boy. You ever met a boy who grew up without his mother? Do you know any? Like they grew up, not kids, but grew up without his mother. How do they act?
Actually, he A1.
Hmm?
He's A1.
He's A1.
His father raised him and his brother.
Oh well, Most High in Christ. Well, I'm gonna tell
His
you,
father raised him and his brother. And he got a 4.2 GPA and
that's excellent. Give that brother a hand. That's glorious. That's not normal. What normally happens, brothers that grow up without their mother, they become real violent individuals. I know men that are that way, who grew up I know a brother. I won't go into that detail. That's a little too far. But I know a brother. I know a brother who's like that, who hates his mother to this day. If he because she left him when he was a child, and he carried that chip on his shoulder. He's well into his 40s, but he's kept that chip carried that chip on his shoulder his entire life. His entire life. Spent time behind bars, behind it, and everything. It's a deep rooted anger. It's a deep rooted. It's a lack of nurture in that brother that he's missing. There's you can't a man can't put that into another man. I can't I can't teach you to be. I don't want to say soft. Okay, look at it this way. You're a rock. You're a marble, raw marble stone. I'm a hammer and a chisel. I'm gonna shape you into the finest craft I could possibly shape you into. You're gonna crumble at some point though, because I don't have the chemical that's gonna bind you together forever. The thing that goes on the inside that keeps you together, I don't have that. But you got to get that from a woman. A woman is just as important for a brother as a man is important for a child, rather, as a man is important for a child. You know what I'm saying? I still forgot how we even got over here. How we in on this? Go ahead.
So, like, I mentioned that women are supposed to teach.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, women are supposed to teach certain things, but they're not supposed to teach the truth. They can teach the truth. They're not supposed to teach the truth to men specifically. You can go to your slavery. You know, men at your slavery be like, well, we don't do X, Y, and Z. Or he'd be like, I ain't never seen you eat the crab legs when we have the crab boil or whatever at the slave. How come you don't eat it? You can tell him about the truth in that way. That's not you teaching him. You tell him, well, this is why I don't do it, because the Lord said don't do it. He gonna come and ask you a question. We got a question, you know what I'm saying? I know men you can ask. You can have the whole conversation with, but this is why I don't do it. You can definitely do that. Y'all sisters can get around each other and start talking about the Bible, studying together, whatever, all y'all want to. You know what I'm saying? Just as long as y'all, I would advise y'all only study what y'all learning here. Don't be all on the internet, because there's people that do that. They go all on the internet. There was a sister that did that. Matter of fact, she was raised up in here, Salakia. Shout out to that sister. But you know what I'm saying? She started going online. She learned a little bit, so she started teaching online. You can't do that. You definitely cannot do that. But y'all can definitely get together what the scriptures say, this, that, and the third. So this maybe we should move this way. Maybe we should move that way instead. Maybe you should think about that, because that's how the scriptures say we should do it. You know? So let's just study Proverbs 31. Proverbs 31 tells sisters, especially like sisters like you got sons. It tells you how to be a mother to your son. That's the first. Everybody get caught up on verse 10, the Proverbs, the ruby, where's rubies? And then from there to the end of the book. But the first 10 verses, the first 9 verses, is really a mother giving wisdom to her son. How to be a good mother to your son and how to actually talk to him. Things you as a mother should be telling him. You know what I'm saying? But everybody skips over that, just goes to the rare rubies part, because now it's talking about bringing glory to her. You see what I'm saying? They don't think about the fact that y'all have a role to play in the earth. They want to get up and just teach. I want the title. I want the glory of the teacher. I want to be the leader. What about that little boy that you got at home? He out running the streets. What are you doing to stop him? I'm praying for him. I'm telling him, I'm putting him in front of these Christians, these people in the church, these men in the church. They taking advantage of him. That's why he's so angry. The scriptures tell you how to deal with him. They literally tell you, Proverbs 30, when you get home, read Proverbs 31, the first 10 verses, first 9 verses. It's literally a mother telling her son how to be a king, a righteous king versus a wicked king, a weak king. She warned him about alcohol abuse, drug abuse, women, money, and everything in between. It's literally right there. The first 8, 9 verses, but no one reads them. Because they get caught up on the part where, okay, well, this is if you want to wear like rubies, this is what you do. What really makes you wear like rubies is the first 9 verses. When you start thinking about his life, what he needs versus the glory that you can get from what you can do. That's what makes you wear like rubies. That other stuff too, yes. But the first part is really what makes you wear like rubies, because you're showing him love through deed, not just word. Because that's what she's doing. She's going to be ordained to be a leader of people, but she ain't really leading nobody to do nothing but pay tithes. It's just word. It's just lip service. It ain't deed. So, like, is everybody to what? That's y'all. Everybody's question. Everybody to what? Anybody got anything else? All right. If anybody online had any questions, save it for Thursday. I'll be back. And with that, this is the ISUPK Star at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command Junior Hanna. This is Monday Night History class. My first time ever saying that. Shalom.